Okay guys, order of operations today, 1.2. We should have actually learned order of operations in pre-algebra and in elementary, right? So this should be review for you. So our main idea is order of operations, and then we have our nice little acronym PEMDAS. So we're going to actually fill in what PEMDAS means. So our main idea is order of operations. Here's our note. What does the P in PEMDAS mean? Nancy. What does the P in PEMDAS mean? Do you know? Thank you. It's parentheses. Okay? So, the P stands for parentheses. What does the E stand for? Nobody's in that seat. Zachary. What does the E stand for?
The E stands for exponents.
Good, exponents. So exponents is E. So after we do all the parentheses, we look and see if there's any exponents. Next we look at M. What does M stand for? Jasmine, what does M stand for? Good, multiplication. Okay. Then we move on to D. Ryan, what does D stand for? Division. Now I'm writing multiplication and division in the same color because it does not matter if I do all multiplication first or all division first. What actually matters? The order that we do them in. So what order do we do multiplication and division in?
Left to right.
Good, left to right. So I'm actually going to write that on the side. Left to right. So we don't just do all multiplication first and then all division. We actually do left to right. So if division comes before multiplication, we do division first. Okay, and it's a similar thing with the A and the S. What does the A stand for? Kyle. A stands for addition. Good. Adding, addition, same thing. And then the S is, nobody's in that seat either. Who's in seat 9? Alexia. Good, subtraction. And subtraction and addition are the same as multiplication and division. We have to do them from?
Left to right.
Good, left to right. So will you write that as well? Left to right. That's all of our notes. Can everybody say yay?
Yay.
Okay. Well, we do have examples. Okay, so example 1, write it down. Example 1, 22 minus 8 divided by 2. Okay, so if I do have this problem, what part am I going to do first? Skylar. I need to divide. Why am I have division first? Right. Well, we looked for parentheses and there were none, right? Were there any exponents? No. So then we go to multiplication and division. So we divide. Now we have 8 divided by 2. Is this 8 a positive 8 or a negative 8?
Negative.
It is a negative 8. Why? Because that negative is attached to it. Okay, so 22 comes straight down. What's negative 8 divided by 2? Negative 4, so we then put negative 4 or minus 4. Okay?
Does it matter if it was like 8 divided by 2? Because then if it's 4 and just go down.
For this one, it actually doesn't matter if you do 8 divided by 2, but I do want you to get used to putting those together because later it will matter. Okay, so we get an answer of negative 4, so then we just put minus 4, so we get the same thing anyway. Okay, but later it does matter. So just make sure that you are remembering that that's actually a negative number. Good question. And then our last part is addition, subtraction. Everybody, what's 22 minus 4? 18. Box your answer. And that's example 1. Example 2. We just did some like this. So will you guys do example 2 by yourselves? negative 9 in parentheses squared. Okay, so for example 2, what did you do, Kaylee?
We just turned negative 9 and positive 9.
Very good. How did you know that we're multiplying the negative 9 times itself? Very good, because we're in parentheses. So everybody, what's negative 9 times negative 9? Positive 81. Good. Example 3. 4 plus 5 times 8 plus 1. And 8 plus 1 is in parentheses. So what did you do first on example 3? Giju. You did the parentheses first. Good. So that gives us 4 plus 5. Those two things come straight down. Times 8 plus 1 gives me 9. Thank you. Okay, what did you do next? Brandon. Very good. We multiplied 5 and 9. Is this 5 positive or negative? It's positive because there's a plus attached to it. Okay, so this is 4 plus 5 times 9 is 45. Okay, and so then what do I do after that, everybody? We add 4 plus 45, which gives me 49. Who got that answer correct? Raise your hand. Air high fives to all of you. Okay, example 4. This one is a doozy, so write it down and then we will do it all together. So we have in brackets 4 minus 3 times, in parentheses, 2 plus 5. All of that minus 8. So I actually see 2 sets of parentheses here. Does anybody remember from last year what you do with 2 sets of parentheses?
You do the one with parentheses first, and then you do the up later. Then you do the one that
Very good. So parentheses first. So that's going to be 2 plus 5. So what we do with the stuff we don't use is we just rewrite it for right now. So I'm going to rewrite the brackets. I'm not going to use that 4 yet. I'm not going to use that minus 3 yet. But I am going to do the 2 plus 5 part. What's 2 plus 5, guys?
7.
Good, 7. Put the brackets in, and we haven't used the minus 8. So I'm showing every single step. What would my next step be? Tiffany, do you know? Very good. We do that 7 times negative 3. So that's going to be, still the brackets, 4 minus 21, all of that minus 8. Okay, did we simplify the brackets as much as we could? Yeah, so we just have the one thing, 4 minus 21 left. What is 4 minus 21 going to give me? Negative 17, good. Minus 8. Okay, and then negative 17 minus 8, what's that going to give me? Is that a positive or a negative? Good, that's a negative, negative 25. Okay, so make sure you show every single step. Does everybody see why it's important for you to show all the steps? Okay, because Algebra 1 is going to be a little bit different from pre-algebra. On your test, for the problems, you need to make sure you show every single step, because even if you get the answer wrong, you might still get some points for it. So if the whole problem is worth 5 points and you only made a mistake on this part right here, you would still get maybe 4 out of 5 points because you only got the answer wrong. You did everything else correctly. Does that make sense? So you need to make sure you show every single step on all of your problems. Okay, write neatly for me. Last one, example 5. Some absolute values here. So example 5 is absolute value of negative 20 minus absolute value of negative 8 plus the absolute value of negative 11. Okay, first thing we need to look at absolute value. Who remembers what absolute value does? Can you raise your hand? What does it do?
It's the distance away from 0.
Very good. It's a distance away from 0. So what does that mean about our answer? It's always going to be what? Good, positive. So our answer will always be positive. So question, does this minus sign get affected ever? No, it's just going to come straight down. So what's the absolute value of negative 20? Positive 20. Minus absolute value of negative 8. Positive 8. Plus absolute value of negative 11. Positive 11. Okay, now absolute values fall under the same category as parentheses. So if you ever see an absolute value, you need to do that part first, okay? So absolute value fall under is the same as parentheses, okay? Now we can just add and subtract from left to right. So 20 minus 8 gives me 12 plus 11. And what's 12 plus 11? 23. Box your answer. Okay, perfect.